Today I'm going to be taking a look back at all of the books that I said were my most anticipated books of 2023 and seeing if I actually read them. In 2023, I did quarterly videos, so I ended up doing 4 most anticipated videos for each season of 2023, and today I'm going to revisit those videos and see how many of those books I actually read. Generally, if I enjoyed them or not, I'm not going to go like really in depth of average rating and all those things, just like I'll generally give commentary, and then how many books I have left, and then out of the books I have left, how many I'm still interested in at this point. And then maybe, if it's interesting, I'll do a part 2 where I read those books. To be determined. Depends on what those books are. If you ever want to revisit these videos of mine for any reason, I do have a playlist for all of my most anticipated videos. I try to keep my videos pretty organized in playlists, so you can always go and visit my horror book recommendations or my thriller book recommendations or my reading blogs, and there's a million playlists out there. If you ever want to browse, they're available. But we're gonna go through all 4 of these videos. Some of them are shorter, some of them are longer. I'm going to speed them up and we're not gonna listen to me talk. We're just going to go through and make a tally as we're watching them, and I'll commentate as we're going along. So the first one is the most anticipated thriller and horror book releases of winter 2023, which is pretty much January, February, and March. Okay, so starting with January. The Black House, Carol Johnstone. I did not read that. I'm gonna need to make a tally while we go. Okay, so I did not read The Black House by Carol Johnstone. I had read a different book from Carol Johnstone, Mirrorland, and I did not really like it. I never ended up picking this up. I think I had an arc of it maybe through like Libro, but I'm not interested anymore. Like I never heard anyone talk about that book. I don't really care. All Hallows by Christopher Golden. That I did try to read. It ended up being a DNF, so I'm gonna put that in the red category because I feel like that counts. That's where it has to go. Did not like the writing style of it. Did not think it was good. The Villa. I did read that one. I also did not like that book. I gave it a 1 star. I'm pretty sure it was very boring. Tell Me I'm Worthless by Alison Remfit. I did read that one and I didn't really get it. Kind of just didn't click with me. You Must Remember This by Kat Rosenfield. I did read that one. I'm doing really good so far. That one was fine. I think I gave it a 3 star. The Drift. I did read that. I did enjoy it. That was a 4 star. How to Sell a Haunted House. I have not read that and I'm not particularly interested in it. Like I don't think I'm going to like it, but I like would read it just to know. I have to keep giving Grady Hendrix a chance. Is this the one to read though? Because I don't know. I don't feel like people have really given it the best reception. I'm gonna have to say I'm still interested. Liar, Dreamer, Thief. I did read that one and I thought it was pretty good. I think I gave it a 3 star. Episode 13 is another book that I DNF'd. I just could not get into this one. I guess I could create a category for DNF, but I don't feel like doing that, so we're just gonna still call those red. Going Dark, I did read this one and I did enjoy it. That one was a 4 star. Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone. I also read that one. I also really enjoyed that. Either gave it a 4 or 5 star. I definitely want to reread this one before the sequel comes out, especially now that I'm more in the mood for cozier mysteries. I think I'll really like it. The House in the Pines, I also read that one. I really enjoyed that. Pretty sure I gave it a 4 star. I feel like I am having such good luck. Okay, God, that was just January. Okay, wow. I felt like we were like really going deep. Okay, She's a Haunting. I read that one. Did not like it. This one was one of my members' book club picks and I think I gave it a 2 or a 3 star. The Spite House, I read that one and I enjoyed that. I think I gave it a 3 or a 3.5. Delicious Monsters, I did not end up reading. I've kind of fallen out of love with YA, so I haven't been picking up much YA lately. Oh gosh, we're going so fast. Okay, and I'm gonna say not interested in Delicious Monsters. The Writing Retreat, I did read. I loved it. 5 star, one of my favorite books of the year. The Angel Maker, I read that one. I enjoyed it. It was a 4 star. Murder Your Employer, I read that one. I can't remember what I rated it. It was either like a 3 or a 4, somewhere in between there. That's a book that's been on my mind. I think about that one often. It's an interesting book. Our Share of Night, I read that one and I enjoyed it. I gave it a 4 or 4.5 star. I also did a dedicated reading blog to it, so you could go check that out if you wanted to. Now we're moving on to March books. The Last Tale of Flower Bride, I read it and I thought it was okay. I think I gave it a 3 star. This was another one of my members' book club picks and I don't know, it just wasn't like fully developed, I guess, in my opinion at least. House of Good Bones, I have not read that one. I am still interested in it, especially since it made it into the Goodreads Choice Awards. That just always makes me more interested. Unnatural Ends, I forgot about this book. Okay, didn't read that one, am still interested in it. I've seen 2 very different covers for this book, so if you don't recognize this, there is a different cover. I've heard no one talk about it though, but I'm still interested in it. It seems like an interesting kind of murder mystery. Mothered, I did not read, and I don't really have any interest in it anymore. Never really heard anyone talk about it, and I don't know, I just wasn't particularly interested in it. Pinata, I read that and I enjoyed it. I gave it like a 3 or 3.5 star. What Happened to Ruthie Ramirez, I read that one and I enjoyed it. I gave it somewhere between a 3 or a 4 star. The Golden Spoon, I did not read that one, and I can't say I'm particularly interested in it. Haven't heard many people talk about it. Don't have any real interest in picking it up. Not So Perfect Strangers, I did read and I did enjoy that one. I gave it a 4 star. Okay, gosh, okay, what's happening? We're jumping in. Did I forget a book? What am I about to say? Was I just wrapping the video up? What's happening? Did we reach the end? I think that might be the end. Okay, yeah, that's the end of the winter video. Okay, so in that video, there were 27 books. I read 20 of them, did not read 7 of them. And then out of the 7 books I did not read, there are 3 I'm still interested in and 4 that I was not. That went way better than I expected. I did really good reading a lot of those books. And I feel like this is probably gonna be my most successful season since I had the whole year to read these, but we will move on and we shall see. Okay, now we're looking at the spring video. So that'll be April, May, and June. First up is The Marigold, which I did not read and I am not interested in. I technically kind of DNF'd it, but I only read like the first chapter, but we're gonna count that as did not read. Next is The Soulmate, which I read and I enjoyed. I gave that a 4 star. The Haunting of Alejandra, this one was a DNF for me, but I read a significant amount of it, so I'm gonna call this read. It was a DNF because I just wasn't really getting into it. Then we have Blind Spots, which I never ended up reading, and it's because I lost interest in it, so I'm going to mark that as no longer interested. Same for This Delicious Death. Never ended up reading it. Didn't really feel like reading YA much this year, so I'm not really interested anymore. This video's already going worse. We Love to Entertain. This is so insane. Did I DNF this book or did I finish it? I don't even know. I just was not liking it. I know I read a significant portion of it, even if I did DNF it, but I did not like it. Then we have Dirty Laundry, which I didn't read. And I'm honestly not interested in this either anymore. So all these books I didn't read, I just lost so much interest in them. Spring was not a good time. Ascension, didn't read it. Am still interested in it though, kind of. This is another one that made it into the Goodreads Choice Awards for the sci-fi category. I could see myself still picking it up. The Eden Test, I did read. I just read it this month, so you probably haven't heard me talk about it yet. I didn't really like it, but at least I read it. Okay, now we're looking at May releases. What came out in May? Graveyard of Lost Children. Did not read it. No longer interested. Yellowface, I did read and I enjoyed it. That was a 4 star. The Salt Grows Heavy, I did read. That was a buddy read for the 24-hour horror-a-thon and it was not very good. For Found Dead, I think this is YA. I didn't read it. I'm not interested anymore. All the Dead Lie Down, I don't even remember what this is. I did not read it. And I can't say I'm interested because I forgot it existed. The Chateau, I did read and I did not enjoy. I feel like spring was just not a good time. Okay, this is June, The Drowning Woman. I read it. I loved it. So maybe things will get better in June. Okay, or not. Another YA. Why did I put so much YA on this list? I don't know. I didn't read it. I'm not interested. Another YA book. The publisher even sent me this one and I still have not read it. And unfortunately, I just cannot say that I am interested anymore. Okay, Mayfly I read and I thought it was good. It was just really disturbing and I always feel weird about reading those books. Sharp writing though. 0 Days I did read and I enjoyed it. I think it was a 3.5 and I also have a dedicated vlog for this one if you would like to check it out. 19 Claws and a Blackbird. I did read this. I don't really remember my feelings on it. I think I gave it a 3. Some of the stories were just really short and left almost no impact on me. Everything the Darkness Eats, I never ended up picking that up because it was getting horrible reviews and I just lost interest in it. But it's like the first book in a long time that I haven't read from Eric LaRocca, but I just don't really want to read it because I didn't really see many good things about it. Okay, Madalena in the Dark. I have not read that yet, but I'm still very interested in it and I would try to squeeze it in this year if I didn't have so many other reading plans going on, but I definitely do still want to pick this book up. The Spare Room I read and I did not really enjoy. And then You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight, another YA that I didn't read and I am no longer interested in. And I think that's the last book of the video. Oh, no, it's because there's some books I forgot. So The Last Word I did read and I loved it, as I say on this slide. And then the only one left I also read and I did did really enjoy that one as well. So in this video, there were also 27 books somehow. I read 14 of them and I did not read 13 of them. Out of the 13 I did not read, I am no longer interested in 11 of them, and there are only 2 that I am still interested in. So I did way worse in the spring, but all the books I didn't read were mostly books that I just didn't care about. It's not that I just forgot about them, it's that for some reason I just was no longer interested, so not too bad. Let's move on to the summer video. So first we have Burn the Negative, which I read and I really loved. The Woods Are Waiting, I did not read and I forgot about, and I can't say I'm interested in anymore. The Beast You Are. I haven't read this yet. I am still interested in it, of course, because it's Paul Tremblay and I love Paul Tremblay, but I totally just forgot about this, to be honest. Forgot to pick it up, and I do need to. What Never Happened, I never got around to picking that one up either, but I am still interested in it because I just want to read something from Rachel Housel Hall, and this one did sound interesting. We have 0 Days again. I somehow put it on this list again. I read it and I enjoyed it. Then Sucker, I read that one. I ended up making it a members book club pick, and I did enjoy it. A Twisted Love Story, I did not read, and I saw all those reviews that you were all leaving that it was not good, so I did not pick it up, and I am no longer interested in that. Camp Damascus, I did read. It was a buddy read for the 24-hour horror-a-thon, and I gave it a 3-star. The Block Party, I DNF'd that halfway through, but like I read half the book, so I'm counting that as read. The publisher sent me a copy of it, so I did read it, but it just wasn't offering anything unique or interesting, so I did not end up following through with it. How Can I Help You? I still have not read this. I am interested in it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. The Deep Sky, I did read this one. It was a book club pick for my members book club, and I really enjoyed it. Silver Nitrate was a DNF, so I'm counting it as read. Didn't really find myself getting into it. Cutting Teeth, I never picked up and I kind of lost interest in it. I don't know that this book has come out yet. The Claire McIntosh second book in this series, I don't remember what it's called, but there's like a cover and a title now, but I just don't think it's out yet. So I haven't read it, but that's not really my fault, but I am still interested. They're Vicious Games, I tried to read it kind of, but only like the first chapter, and then it was a DNF, so I'm gonna count that as not read, and I'm not interested in it anymore. It's a YA. Haven't really been into YA. Then we have Gone Tonight, which was a DNF. I read probably like 20% of it. I'm gonna count it as did not read since I didn't get halfway through and I'm not interested. It just wasn't unique or offering anything that really kept me hooked. Mr. Magic, I did read and I did not really enjoy that one. The Trap, I have not read yet, but I do want to. Good Bad Girl, I did read, did not enjoy. I read that one with Gabby for her book club. Gabby Reads, the Book Troop Book Club. So we do have a discussion live there if you want to check that out. Looking Glass Down, I did read. It was a members book club and I loved it. I love seeing how many of these anticipated reads ended up being book clubs or buddy reads. Because I always do voting. Like I'm not just picking things for both of the things I do, it's voting. So you guys picked exciting books, which is fun. None of This Is True, I did read and I thought it was fine. I think I gave it a 3.5 or a 3. The Handyman Method was a DNF, but I barely started it. I just really hated the writing style. So I'm gonna count that as did not read and no longer interested. The last one, I still haven't read this, but I am very interested in this book. Spin a Black Yarn, I still haven't gotten to this, but I do want to because I do like Josh Mallerman's writing. Vampires Del Norte was a DNF, but I read like half of it, so I'm gonna mark that as read. Just wasn't really my vibe. The Death I Gave Him, I still have not read this, and I think I kind of lost interest in it. Rouge, I have not read as of today, but it is the next book I am picking up. So I'm gonna have to mark it as did not read, still interested, but I will be reading it super soon. Okay, so that is the end of the summer video. In this video, I also talked about 27 books. Is this a conspiracy? How is this happening? That is so weird. But yeah, there were 27 books in this video. I read 12 of them, did not read 15 of them. Out of the 15 I did not read, I'm no longer interested in 7 of them, but I am still interested in 8 of them. So this is the video that I did the worst in terms of percentage read, and for the books I haven't read yet, there's still a lot that I'm interested in. But we're getting closer to the time when these books just came out, so it's a little less surprising. But I've got a good list of books to still go back to from this one. Lastly, we'll do the fall video, and this one's gonna be a little meta because you're gonna be watching me on a screen in this one as well. Also, when I made this video, I couldn't find the summer video, so I somehow thought that I didn't do a summer video or something, and I ended up including some books twice. I did count that with 0 days when that just came up between the last two, but because I already know there's going to be some overlap of like at least probably 5 books, I'm not going to count books twice. We'll just not count them in this video for anything I repeated. And so that you don't have to watch those again, I'm just going to cut those out. Okay, The Christmas Guest, haven't read yet. I think it's out now. I don't know if I'm going to read it. I guess I'm still loosely interested, but I'm not like super interested. This one's also kind of complicated because I was just talking about books. I wasn't like, every book I show is not a most anticipated book. I just like am looking for most anticipated books. So I'm only going to count the things that I think really ended up being my most anticipated. This is a mess of a video. Mother Daughter Murder Night. This is one I know was one of my most anticipated. I'm still interested in it. I haven't read it yet, but I do want to. The Stranger Upstairs, that one I did read. I did not like it. Okay, Everyone on This Train is a Suspect. I don't know if this is out yet. I don't think it is, but I am interested in it. But I'm gonna have to mark it as did not read and still interested, just waiting for it to come out. Nestlings, I have not read this yet, but I want to so bad. I'm very interested in this one. Just haven't gotten around to it yet. Same for The Reformatory, haven't read it yet, am still interested. It's just tough because these books like just came out. Midnight is the Darkest Hour. I don't know if I ended up calling this a most anticipated or not. I think I was already skeptical of it. We'll count it for the sake of this video. I haven't read it. I did start it on audio and I DNF'd it. So yeah, I'm not interested anymore. I just barely started it and DNF'd it, so that's why I'm counting it as did not read. Edenville, I haven't read. I kind of lost interest in this one, to be honest. Last to Leave the Room, though, I did read that one and I did enjoy it. I gave it a 3-star. This Gilly McMillan, what is this book? Why am I scrolling past it? Hello, please put it in the shot. The Manor House. I did not read that one and I don't remember anything about it. This looks kind of interesting, just looking at the synopsis really quickly, but I don't know. I'm not super interested. I forgot it existed. I can't really say that I'm interested. Good Girls Don't Die. I have not read that one yet, but I am very interested in it. And I do plan on reading it. Wow, here we go. I put this graphic in the end. This is what I should have referenced. I wish I would have known that that existed. Okay, so what did I miss in this? I missed Thieves Gambit. I didn't think that I ended up saying I was interested in that one, but I guess I was. And I didn't read it, and I'm no longer interested. And then all the other ones I caught, I did end up including Midnight is the Darkest Hour, and then there's some dupes that we didn't look at with The Death I Gave Him and Rouge. I might have accidentally counted something that I wasn't supposed to, but I don't care that much. This isn't that serious. In this video, I caught 12 books total, 2 of which I read, 10 of which I did not read. Out of the 10 I did not read, there are 6 I'm still interested in, 4 that I am no longer interested in. Okay, so pulling all those stats together, there were a total of 93 books we looked at. I read 48 of them. I did not read 45 of them, so I read about 52% of the books that I talked about as my most anticipated books of the year, which is like pretty good. I got to half of them, and I really did better in the earlier quarters than I have in the most recent quarters. Looking back at the whole year, I did the best with my winter books. I read 74% of them. Spring books, I read 52% of. Summer books, I read 44% of. And then fall books, I read 17% of. So you can see that gradual decline as the year goes on, which makes plenty of sense because I've had less time to read the books since they have been out. And then out of all the books that I have not read, there are 19 that I'm still interested in, 26 that I am no longer interested in. So that is 42% of the books that I didn't end up reading that I'm still interested in. And those almost follow a similar curve, except summer is where I had the most books that I didn't get to that I'm still interested in. And then these are all the books left that were my most anticipated books that I am still actively interested in that I do want to read. I'm obviously not going to be able to do a video where I read 19 books. That's a lot. That's really unrealistic. But I don't know. Let me know if you have any ideas of what to do as a follow-up for this video. Maybe I could do like a series of reading through them. Maybe I could try to match them with each season this coming year in 2024. Maybe you can just tell me which ones you're most interested in hearing me talk about. Maybe I could throw them in a random generator and just pick whatever comes my way. If you have any ideas, let me know. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was fun just to kind of reflect on the year. It was definitely interesting to see what books I was most hyped about and then how they ended up going for me. I feel like I was saying that I enjoyed these books a lot throughout the video, so I did a pretty good job this year of getting excited about books that were actually up my alley. There were only a couple disappointments that I remember looking through all of this. So I would say that's not too bad. And it has me feeling good about my luck for 2024 because I'm getting ready to start doing this all over again. But that is for me. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.